Okay, we should be there any minute if we're not already. Okay, I think we're live. Okay, I'm going to admit the last few people, and we are now streaming. So I'm going to say hello and good evening. Welcome. Oh, there's more people coming in. Welcome to our sixth cocktail concert. My name is Haley Coopersmith, and I'm the manager of public programs at the museum at Eldridge Street. And I'm joined tonight by the extraordinary, the legendary, the Jazz Rabbi, Greg Wall. Greg, where are you joining us tonight?
I'm joining you from my haunts on the Connecticut Riviera in Westport.
We're so grateful to have you with us. Oh, sorry. Say it again.
Let me hold up for the duration of our current situation, but I moved here in 2013.
I think you cut out a little bit. Just say, I caught Connecticut Riviera. Say the last part again.
So I'm speaking to you today from my home in Westport, Connecticut.
Amazing.
I've been living here since 2013.
Very nice.
And I became the rabbi of Beit Chavarim Synagogue in Westport.
Oh, we're honored to have you with us tonight. And I know you do klezmer, you do jazz. I see you with a saxophone tonight. I'm so excited to hear what you've put together for us tonight. But before we get to that, I know that music has meant so much to so many people, especially in the past few months. And I just want to talk to you a little bit first about what music has meant to you, especially during these past few months.
So it's a really good question. First of all, I want to dedicate this to my brethren in the musical arts, who for the most part have been shut down, out of business since the middle of March. And you know, I'm part of a circle of people who are improvisers, and we do what we do in front of an audience. And without an audience, it's really hard to make the music. And also without human interaction and the two-dimensional experience of the internet and Zoom or whatever you want to try to use is a real compromise. But I think just like the social distancing that we've been experiencing, this musical distancing for us, I think is going to be beneficial in the long run, because we should have a new appreciation for every sound we're able to share. And it really says a lot about the power of music when it's silenced and when it's given in a flat two-dimensional. It's as if someone had to look at the world only through picture books or photographs, and then when you step outside finally and you can see it in all its glory, it's quite something to behold. And I think that the sonic world is a parallel to that.
Very interesting to hear you say that. I am just getting some notes in the chat. We did adjust, so everyone knows, we did adjust Rabbi Greg's volume so that we could hear his saxophone. But they're saying if you could speak a little bit louder. Okay. It's not a problem for Rabbi Greg, I assure you.
I'm going to get a little closer.
Thanks so much. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Music definitely is very powerful, and it's definitely different playing in front of a live audience versus playing via Zoom. But thankfully for everyone present, we have a little bit of both tonight. Can you talk about some of the videos you shared with us, you have ready for us?
Sure. I chose a few things that are representative of my work that straddles both of these worlds that I live in, the jazz world and the world of traditional Jewish sounds. And we're going to start off with something that I did at a concert in Krakow as part of their big festival they have at the end of June every year. One of the great Jewish festivals of the world. I've played at a lot of them. This is really my favorite. And much of the city of Krakow is intact as it has been for hundreds of years. And they've got several historic synagogues. So this next piece that we're about to see was recorded in one of these synagogues. And it is a piece that shares an identity with the Jewish tradition and the African American tradition. And it's based on a vision of the prophet Ezekiel. And I took the melody that I used from an African American spiritual tune based on the book of Ezekiel from the Hebrew Bible. So this is Ezekiel Saw the Wheel.
Okay, you ready for me to share it?
I am.
Okay, everyone give me one moment and I'll share my screen. I'm gonna make sure before I do that I have everything is prepared for it to be, there we go.
right, thanks. We don't have enough time to see the entire performance that went on, but you get an idea of really how beautiful my partner Shai Bachar plays the piano. He's one of my favorite musicians, and in fact, I was really blessed to have him when I did the very first Jazz Rabbi and Friends concert. My whole project coming out of the closet as the Jazz Rabbi started at Eldridge Street with a concert that I did a few years back with Michael Cochran on the piano. He was a great jazz pianist, but Shai joined me on a piece of Lower East Side heritage music, and he did. So let's put up Papa Rosen.
Well, I'm absolutely very excited to put it up. But before I put it up, since you mentioned Eldridge Street, and we're at the cocktail concert for Eldridge Street, and you've been so many times, can you just talk a little bit about your connection to Eldridge Street? Because I know it's a special one.
Yes, so it goes way, way back. It goes back to the time when the beautiful museum at Eldridge Street facility was a dream. And it's almost like, the dreams that the prophets had, that the temple would be rebuilt. And, during the Babylonian exile. And here we were, and this was I think it was still in the 80s, maybe the very late 80s. And they were trying to raise the money. The top part of the synagogue was uninhabitable, but the congregation was still meeting downstairs in the basement, hadn't been finished. And I believe it was Amy Waterman, was that the original director of the project. It was called the Eldridge Street Project at the time. And she wrote a grant, and in order to just get the image of the project in the community, which over the years had become Chinatown, the grant funded performances of Jewish folklore music, specifically klezmer music, to school kids in the neighborhood. And they would come in to Eldridge Street into the facility, and they get to learn something about the history of their neighborhood. And we would play music from the time that where the Eldridge Street Synagogue was a really vital part of the community. And it was great. And for many of these kids, some of whom were actually born in China and come here either very, very recently or were born here, but really it's like the people who are born in Williamsburg and Yiddish is their first language. And there's sort of an otherness when they come and interact with an English-speaking community. So it was like that, but it was such a positive experience as these school children had with Jewish culture, and we got to them first, and they didn't have to hear any distorted reality or anti-Semitism or anything like that. They saw the beauty of the culture through the music, and then over the years, the opportunities started developing to branch out, and finally they got the really big grant that enabled the rehab to become finished. And then we started playing upstairs on a regular basis, not only with our annual Klez for Kids show, which we still do.
My favorite day.
December 25th, since all the Jews are coming for Chinese food anyway, might as well hear some Lower East Side culture music. But also, I think that Eldridge Street has become a destination for new music that's being created from Jewish artists in New York, cutting edge stuff. I had a chance to premiere the music I wrote for the Shirim of Rav Kook, and we did our New York premiere at Eldridge Street, the multimedia concert with and a video installation. And it was challenging music. It was challenging music to play and challenging music to listen to, but this was the venue to do it. And it was really nice. And I value the relationship, and hopefully it'll continue for a long time.
Absolutely. We're honored to have you as part of our Eldridge Street extended family and virtual family now. And I just wanted to have everyone who's listening out there know how connected you are before I share this next clip, because you really are. When I say family, you really are family. So I wanted to preface this next clip with that. Without further ado, thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Haley.
Okay. I'll get to the right screen. It's that one.
It's merely a coincidence that wearing the same shirt as the other clip I did on more than one show.
Wow, that was before my time, but wow.
Before mine too.
No, before my time at Eldridge, I mean.
know, yeah.
But wow. I'm sure everyone's else on mute, but I'm sure everyone else is clapping in their homes. Wow. Listen, if you haven't been to Eldridge and you haven't seen Greg live, the past two clips didn't convince you. You have to come. You have to come see this in person. Thank you for sharing those with us. And I know there's more, so I'm going to let you do the introduction.
I think probably because I'm just I'm conscious of people's time.
Oh, okay.
Maybe what we don't need to play the last video clip. People could go on to YouTube. There's a lot of my stuff, not only with Later Prophets, but a lot of stuff with Zion 80, a group I've been recording with for the past 5 or 6 years. We have a whole bunch of CDs on Sonic Records, on John Zorn's label, and but I'm enjoying the time to talk Eldridge Street, because it's really an important part of who I am, and again, where my worlds intersect. That piece that we just played was called Paparosim, and it was written for the Yiddish theater, which of course got in America. Its home was on the Lower East Side on 2nd Avenue. And at the end, we're sort of we tried to represent the angst at when your culture is pulled apart on the seams, and you're doing everything to hold it together. And there's so much pressure to be like everybody else, but if you're not enough like everybody else, then you're isolated. But if you're too much like everybody else, then you lose who you are. And it's frustrating. It's been frustrating for Jews for millennia. It's a constant struggle. And as artists, we try to be sensitive to that too. But the pandemic, this plague, coming right around Passover time too, when we realized the severity of the plague, that it's something. It's such a huge equalizer. And in the jazz community, we lost, a lot of really good people. Some who died many, many years before their time to this ugly disease, and others, hopefully that on the way out they didn't suffer too much. Some were older, but it's when you have a national treasure like Jimmy Heath or Jimmy Cobb or someone like that, you never want to say goodbye to them. You just don't. But it's had me thinking a lot too, just in terms of my music. It's hard for me to find joy in my own music and playing now, and I know that will come back when people aren't afraid to go outside. And my own work, you had asked in the questions that you wanted me to think about prior to our time together today, about what I've been working on. And I thought, okay, quarantine, I have nothing to do but practice. Of course, I'm busier now as a rabbi than I've ever been in my life. When we moved the synagogue online, it was a lot more work. But I found that I haven't been driven to write new music now. I've been driven to go back to fundamental things that I've been doing to sustain me for, at this point, almost 50 years of playing, over 45 years. And, the things that we take for granted, just the building blocks of music and sound and relaxation. And those are the kinds of things that I've been working on. And, so I've been thinking a lot about the tune that has a special place, especially in the 20th century. It's a song that, according to a legend, was composed by someone on the way to Auschwitz. And it's a setting to the text, Ami Ma'amin Ba'muna Shalema, that I believe with a complete faith in the coming of the Messiah, that there will be a world redemption. And if people who are in a situation like that, for most of us, are going to be okay. And it's tragic, the amount of people that have not been okay, but on the larger scale, most of us are going to be okay. And yet, we still need this redemption more than ever. We do, because, you know, in some ways that this situation has exposed a lot of the ugliness in the world too. I remember, you know, when I found out about people hoarding medical supplies, I mean, it really made me want to cry, you know, at a time of our greatest, you know, global vulnerability, that it's an opportunity to take advantage. And it gave me a lot of pride in our Jewish tradition, which, you know, is sensitive to these things. And therefore, you know, we have a divine mandate, so we don't fall into that trap, you know, of letting the animal side of us rule. Anyway, the melody I was talking about was something that I've been just find myself playing in a plaintive way, in a very plaintive way. And so I thought that I would share a little bit of that. It's not not fancy, but it's sort of where my head has been at. And then I want to close with a song that is very, very happy and hopeful because of something going on in my life that I'll share as a parting shot. I'm going to move back so we don't overwhelm this little microphone in my laptop.
Yes, everybody, the saxophone is extremely loud, which is why Greg's going to move back a little bit. My mute, yay. It's definitely a somber song, but I think, like you said, it speaks to everything that's happening in the world, and, you know, all of the people suffering, and, you know, but it's hopeful in a way.
Not just in physical health, people's spiritual health is suffering, you know, and the breakdown in communication, the division of our society it's so painful to see.
Yeah. But, you know, I think part of these concerts, and what we've hoped for them anyway, is that we do them because we send out, and everyone watching, we send strength and hope, well wishes to everyone out there. And we wish you all of the peace and love from us and from our family to yours.
So I'm really really very pleased that I can share some good news. And
Yes.
I have a new grandson.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. And he's entering into the covenant of Abraham, God willing, tomorrow morning. So I'm very excited. And, you know, I really needed that. I really needed to see, you know, the renewal phase hit, you know, in the middle. It was perfect timing, not a day too late for me. So I'm gonna close, but we can chat a little longer if you wanted. Then I'm gonna close with the piece that came to mind that I've been thinking about all day long.
Absolutely, please do. All yours.
Okay. This is something that was written by the great composer Thad Jones, and it's called "A Child Is Born," and it's about the potential of human life, and there's so much potential, and you know we have a chance when we nurture a child to start anew, and this song really does that for me. There's been a few different sets of lyrics to it. Alec Wilder wrote some lyrics, and there's a great recording of Tony Bennett singing the song with the late great Bill Evans playing the piano in a duet, and that's really extraordinary. But one of my favorite versions is Abby Lincoln. She wrote her own words for it, but along the same theme. But anyway, I'm gonna play it instrumental, so anybody can you're free to attach any words that are in your heart to the melody.
Thank you so much, Greg, the Jazz Rabbi. It's been an honor to host you. I'm conscious of the time of the concert. I will keep the Zoom room open, but for the sake of our stream on Facebook, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched. I want to say thank you to you. It's been really a pleasure to listen and to hear you speak, to hear you play, to watch your videos. I invite with more enthusiasm than I can express through Zoom. I invite everybody to follow Greg on social media, on his website. I'll link that in the comments of the video that's going to be on Facebook. Follow us on social media because Greg will be back when it is safe to be back at Eldridge. December 25th is a great day to catch him. Klez for Kids is always a really fun show for all ages. It's not just for kids. It's a very fun day. So definitely follow everybody you can on social media. Greg has CDs. Definitely check them out. Greg, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, just a thank you for the opportunity to spend the time with you and folks like this. And I really look forward to seeing everybody in a live venue. And,
yeah.
Should be soon. Meanwhile, everyone stay well, stay safe.
Absolutely. I'd like to echo that. Stay safe, stay healthy. We're sending so much of that positive energy out into the world. And once again, thank you so much and have a great week. Bye.
Thanks so much.